2016 with that win over runners-up last season. We mentioned a couple of exchanges for Rabat. Well, it's a 41-year wait since 1985 when they won their sole CAF Champions League. And they're on the ball down the right-hand side. It's an excellent run from Slim, but good defensive work at the back from Undamane. Just plays it back off Slim and out for a throw-in to the home side, deep inside their own territory down this right-hand channel. Both the sides met last year, drawing 1-1 in both legs between the Brazilians and the military club, as a long ball just tries to look down the left-hand channel, but it's returned back deep inside the Sundowns half as it just goes out on the near side. But I think it looked like Slim has caught the ball as the ball's still in play, and that's what Matthews is trying to protest to the linesman on this near side. They have continued with the throw-in, and Sundowns have got on with it quickly halfway inside their own half and gone back to Ronwen Williams away to the right-hand side. But as the ball just came back down this near channel just in front of the Sundowns manager, Slim just came in and just caught the ball on the run. It looked like he was still a yard or two inside the pitch, but the referee, who isn't short of controversy, Undala, the man who we mentioned before the start of the game, took charge of that African Cup of Nations final, which is still to be decided. Morocco are the current winners according to CAF, but we'll see how that goes on appeal. The rest of the world, I think, was in agreement with Senegal being the winners, winning it on the day, because if we go down the argument of a team walking off and coming back on and being punished, then Morocco themselves would have an African Cup of Nations taken off them, as the exact same thing happened with them against Gabon many years ago. Down the right-hand side, an excellent ball, looking for the run of El Fali, just tries to whip it back in. It's played back out towards the edge of the area, but it's a poor first touch from Wakane. Over towards the left-hand side, still with Rabat. Nice interchange on the left-hand channel, comes back in, and the strike just goes over the top of the bar towards Ronwen Williams' near corner of the goal. But it's excellent play from Rabat just to shift it down the right-hand side. The first ball into the box was dealt with well from Sundowns, moved across then towards the left-hand side for those in black, and an excellent linking 1-2 down the left channel of the box, and then the strike that came in from Hamoudan just over the top of the bar, and Williams not having to do too much. 9 minutes gone then inside this game. It's been a steady opening few minutes of this contest between two sides who come into this one. The Sundowns are clear favourites in this game. Yes, and evens in the odds. Rabat 4-1. If you are a gambling man, I'm personally not. I'm not good enough to pick one winner, never mind to pick multiple on multiple occasions. But here, at 10 past 4 local time in South Africa, the sun is beating down on Pretoria, but which will it shine on the most come 6 o'clock this evening? It's with the Sundowns just heading, though, in the wrong direction. Nicely turned in towards the middle, towards Mokwena. Just tried to feed it back into Leon up front, but a nice interception that in the centre half, the 29-year-old South African international. He's an outstanding midfield conductor, but he's sitting in the heart of the defence. He's been involved in 42 open play shot-ending sequences in the Champions League this season, the highest of anyone in the competition. A poor ball out from Rabat's picked up in the middle by Mokwena. Pushes it towards the right-hand side. The space just closed down, but Cupido will just move himself over. Finds in Modiba. Back in towards Adams once again. Tries to put a cross in towards the edge of the box, but once again just dealt with by the back line of Rabat, which has been the sturdiest of all the sides in this competition throughout the last couple of months. Inside their own half, away to the left-hand side with the captain, Rimat. Moves it himself down towards his near right-hand channel. He scored a 90th minute penalty at Hassania. Here the captain, Rimat. 9 goals to his name this season. He's certainly got that penalty now, which may come in handy at the end of the second leg if these sides are tied after both legs. A reminder that the CAF Champions League final, for those that are unaware, is a two-legged tie. The Sundowns currently top of their domestic league, 30 games played, 20 wins, 8 draws, 2 defeats. Sitting 2 points above second place, although they did lose for the first time in 10 games against Galaxy. 3-2 in the last game, although they did make plenty of changes. They've made 6 for this game, 4 coming back into the side completely. Cupido, Mudau, Adamson, Letalaku, the 4 coming straight back in. The 2 that came off the bench, Matthews and Undamane. As a free kick goes Rabat's way, just inside their own half to the left-hand side of the centre circle. But as the opening 12 minutes have gone, it's a fairly even contest as Adams just comes back in and once again has a bit of a coming together with El Fali, and this time the referee does give a free kick to Rabat. But Sundowns have had plenty of scoring games this season. We spoke about that 3-2 in the last game, 7-4 they won against Siwalele. They scored 7 goals before the 60th minute of that game, before conceding 3 when it didn't really make too much of a difference, although that goal difference is very, very tight at the top of the South African League. Orlando Pirates sitting behind them with a +6 better goal difference, 2 points behind with a game in hand. Kaizer Chiefs, they're not going to contest the top 2 this season, the former champions. And with just 1 game to go, in the league, it is anyone's guess about which way that season may finish, and they'll keep a certain eye. They were yesterday afternoon, it could have gone for them yesterday. They continue to fight another day in the South African League. The lovely ball just comes in from the right hand side, but sent back where it came from, then a little knock down from Himati towards the halfway line. Madiba picks up the loose ball, just sends it in towards Letlaku. Again on the right hand side, tries to put a cross in, but it's a really bad ball in towards the middle, and it's picked up by Slim, who's got a bit of space to be able to run into the space down the right hand side if he can find the pass, but Madiba will just come across and give away the foul. And Undala, the referee, took his time to make his decision. El Fali was making his way down the right hand side, and Slim just taken out in the middle. It was Adams that again just came across, and he's had a couple of challenges in the opening 15 minutes of this game, which the referee has allowed to just go unpunished for the time being. But as the game goes on, we'll see how he manages to match up in the middle of the park. He certainly has come into this game with plenty of controversies. The free kick floated, and it's just about dealt with inside the box to put into that corridor of uncertainty between the defence and the goalkeeper. Ronwen Williams didn't come out with too much confidence, but it was an excellent clearance at the back from Mokwena instead, and it goes all the way back towards Tagnauti, away to the left hand side, who himself will just put it out of play for a throw in on the halfway line. So a really good start to this game, both sides looking to try and provide some attacking intent. And on the ball now is Matthews, brings it in towards the centre of the Rabat half and tries to feed it towards the edge of the penalty area, but again just hacked away towards the halfway line once more. Rabat in an excellent run as well, just 1 loss in 20 games, although of those 20, 11 have been draws, including drawing 1-1 with Olympic Club de Safi, Ittihad Tanger. They did beat Raja Casablanca. Drawn as well, Berkane, and against Union Yaqub El Mansour, 2-2 against them. So plenty of games, but when you are on away soil, it is that sort of ability that you do want. You want to get at least a draw going into the second leg to give yourself the best chance, especially against the side that were at this stage last season. But it's the home side again trying to provide a little bit of attack and intent, floats it towards the far side of the box, but just dances past everybody and out for a goal kick to Rabat, away to the left. And it's going to be an interesting tie between these two games across the 2 legs. The Sundowns unbeaten at home against Moroccan sides in the CAF Champions League 4 wins, 4 draws. They were beaten at home across the last 2 CAF Champions League seasons with 6 wins and 5 draws from the 11 games as well. They've won each of their last 3 home CAF Champions League matches without conceding. And as you keep running through the stats for the Sundowns, it certainly bodes well in their favour. But Rabat, they're not here by chance. The best defensive record in the competition with just 5 goals conceded in their 10 games. They've not conceded in the first half of the competition either. And all 5 goals conceded came in between the 50th and the 70th minute of the competition. So it's a game of stats that seem to bode well for both sides, as Luadny just takes a little push in the back from Leon and wins himself and his side a free kick inside his own half, and Rabat will look to get it down the right hand side, linked in towards El Fally, comes back out towards Slim, tries to put a cross in towards the box, and it's headed out by Adams, and it's now for a corner kick, but the linesman's flag on this near side has gone up temporarily. And Slim just tried to get the ball back across, but I think it has gone out for a corner kick on this near side. It hasn't. They've got on with an advantage instead towards Sundowns. I'm not too sure what the linesman has flagged for on the near side. It must have been an offside, and I think from the initial ball down the right, looking for the run of El Fally, who seemed to have just strayed a little bit too far. Sundowns trying to whip it nicely down towards the left-hand channel in towards Madiba. Gets the first touch on, but the second just allowing Rabat to get hold of the ball. In towards Slim, who tries to play it over the top and around the back, and all of a sudden it's Rabat who have an opportunity here. El Fally making his way inside the box. Sundowns getting men back, and excellent footing in the end. So Rabat trying to do too much down the left-hand side. It was a wonderful ball over the top, down the left-hand channel, in towards Hamildan. El Fally was making strides in towards the centre of the box. And Sundowns coming up the other end as well, and they're going to win a corner kick on the counter. Protesting is Luadny. With an opportunity at one end leads to an opportunity at the other. And if the ball from Hamildan had just come first time in towards El Fally, I'm pretty sure the man who has been excellent this season for Rabat, he hasn't scored in the Champions League. How he'd love to add his name and add to the 7 goals he has scored in the Botola Pro League this season. As the corner will come from the far side. A brief stoppage in play just before the corner has been taken. These two sides certainly going for it as the corner's whipped in and then cleared out by Rabat. Quite comfortably. 21 minutes gone then in this game between these two sides. Fairly even in terms of both sides just trying to get through, but it is the Sundowns who have the majority of possession, 75% possession to 25 that Rabat have had. 2 corners to 1 so far in the opening stages of this game. As Sundowns trying to get themselves down the right hand side once again. Lovely ball brought back in towards the area, and a shot comes in, but it's blocked by Luadny, who does that more than anybody else across the season. Cleared back out halfway inside the Sundowns half. Brought back in towards the left-hand side. It's with Madiba. Fed down the left-hand channel of the box, and then it's just easily dealt with as the pass just a little bit too far in front of Leon and straight in towards the goalkeeper. Who's taking his time to pick up the ball once again, and Dagnauti just waiting for Leon just to come into him before he picks up the ball as he sends it long towards the edge of the Rabat area. With Sundowns once again in possession and moving forward. Mokwena shifts it in towards the left-hand side. It's a poor ball though, and Slim will come away within the space down the left-hand side. Sundowns playing a very, very high line, and all of a sudden there is space down the right-hand side for El Fally. There's 2 trying to make their way in towards the area. Sundowns coming across, and one of those is Mokwena, who gets the block in, but it'll be a corner kick, the second of the afternoon for Rabat on this near side. 22 minutes gone, and Rabat are weathering the possession that the home side have had. No real chances, though, for either side. Just 50 passes Rabat have been able to make in the opening stages of this game compared to the 151 that Sundowns have had. But if they can just connect one here from the corner kick, which Slim will take, puts it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, but it's headed back nicely halfway inside the Sundowns half and moved across towards the right-hand side again in towards back. Lofts it over towards the far side, and it's just flicked on by Cupido towards the far side. Put back in towards the area, and then the first header that came in from Rabat over the top of the bar, but it is an excellent chance from the away side. Beautiful ball that came from this near side, just had to be dealt with by Cupido. Over on the far side, Hamoudan then picked up the loose ball, brought it back onto his right, and then whipping it back in towards Luadni, who got his head onto it, but just couldn't direct it downwards and goes over the top of Ronwen Williams' goal. The Bafana number one away to the right-hand side. The Sundowns have won the last 3 CAF Champions League games without conceding. Ronwen Williams will need to be tested a little bit more if Rabat are wanting to score inside this game. But halfway inside the first half, still 0-0 between these two sides of what has been a very intriguing contest in these opening stages. The possession certainly going the way of Sundowns, but the best opportunities to test at least the goalkeeper have come from Rabat, but they just haven't been able to do that either, as the Sundowns have the ball just inside their own half. Brought back towards Ronwen Williams, who's sitting halfway inside his own half, bang in the centre. Moves it nicely in towards Mudau. Flicked into the left-hand side and a follow-through, looking for the run of Matthews, just a little bit too far in front of me. A bit of a P-roll, a bit of a slow burner as he tried to get on to it. Has to try and get there, but then the long ball sent in towards El Fali over the back line, and he's done that plenty of times. Tries to bring it back onto his left, but he's crowded out by 2, and then he's crossed in towards the box, just looking for the return pass towards Giraffe over on the left. Just can't quite angle it right. But once again, Rabat are just getting themselves behind the back line with those long balls. Sundowns trying to play it through. Rabat just trying to catch those in yellow off guard. And they might not be favourites coming into this game, the Moroccans, but they're certainly showing plenty of spirit in this contest. We know how good they are at the back. They don't score too many goals in this competition either. Just 8 goals scored, 5 conceded. It doesn't bode too well for them in terms of exciting CAF Champions League games. But when you are in a final, anything can certainly happen. This is one of 2 legs. Long ball again, looking to El Fali on the right-hand side. This time he's got a little bit of support from Slim, who just strayed offside. Gets himself back on his. El Fali goes for goal, but just drags his shot wide, but he's getting closer with his efforts. He did ever so well on this near right-hand channel. He just took it down from the sky with his chest, drove towards the left-hand side, opened up the space and couldn't quite angle it on target as he just drags it with his left boot wide of the left-hand side of Williams's left-hand post. But he's building a little bit more confidence as the game does go on. The drums being banged by the Sundowns fans to just try and get their side a little bit more into this contest as the game goes on. And Rabat want to find themselves a little bit more confidence in the game. The Sundowns fans will certainly be a difference maker as the ball comes towards the edge of the area for the Sundowns over on the right hand side, but it's lost in towards Slim once again, who's making a run. El Fali once again just trying to get himself this time through the middle and just can't quite get it and squeeze it past the centre half of Mudau, who cuts across nicely, brings it over towards the right hand side into Santos. Being ever so quiet, the Brazilian, who actually joined those nicknamed the Brazilians, wearing the colours of the national side as well. Less than 26 days until the World Cup. South Africa and Morocco will be looking forward to the competition. Morocco, who were everyone's darlings at the last World Cup, beating Portugal before losing out to France as an Englishman. That was one of the difficult games of losing to France, but as an Englishman every game is difficult, as they never seem to get where they'd like to be. Well, everyone would like to be doing well, though, when you've got 48 teams who would like to be doing well in the World Cup this summer. I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm a big fan of some of those smaller nations, Curaçao, Haiti, Qatar getting in on merit as well. It will make it very, very interesting. South Africa will be the opening game of the World Cup, the same as the 2010 World Cup. Bafana and Shabalala open the scoring in that wonderful tournament in 2010. Well, they'll open against Mexico once again. Morocco's first game will come on Saturday the 13th, midnight local time, against Brazil. Well, plenty of exciting games. South Africa have got the Republic of Korea and Czechia as well. Morocco, Haiti and Scotland. They'll certainly fancy their chances once again to get into the knockout stages, but Scotland may try and challenge them for that place with the likes of Scott McTominay, who's been running riot in Serie A for 2 years now. Going to be one of those, as a ball down the right hand side again towards Slim, and then the return pass from El Fally just goes in front of him and out for a goal kick away to the right hand side. 29 minutes and on the clock, still 0-0 between these two sides in the first leg of the CAF Champions League final, as Lyon is just down inside the box away to the left hand side. Just took a little bit of a late challenge inside the area. He might have been trying to play towards the referees. Back to his feet now, though. The number 12 scored in his last 4 CAF Champions League games, scored 5 of Sundowns' last 7 goals in this competition. He's a wonderful player. He did meet these two sides last season on 2 occasions. Sundowns drawing 1-1 at home, and then again 1-1 away from home. There was a red card in that leg over in Rabat, but it's with Matthews 5 yards off the left-hand corner of the area. Loses out though, and Slim will come away with it. It's 3-on-2 with Sundowns with the advantage. He's got to hold up to the ball as El Fally just tries to hold his run. Now he's going to be sent down that left-hand channel, but it was too late and just allowed Madiba, who's an excellent defender, traditionally plays in that left-back role, just to get himself back between El Fally, who for a number of times in these opening exchanges of the game, the first half an hour, has just strayed a little bit too offside. He's a little bit too eager just to get himself behind the back line. He is doing the right thing, but with Sundowns playing a high defensive line, he's just finding himself just straying a little bit offside on more than one occasion. Has to hold the run, and in doing so just slows the attack down. It's with Rabat just hugging the far touchline, 5 to 10 yards just off the left-hand corner of their penalty area. Ball sent in towards the Sundowns half, just picked up nicely by Cupido. Goes back in towards the goalkeeper, Ronwen Williams. Leon as well, we'll mention him a few times. He scored in both legs of the semi-final, scored twice in the 3-2 league defeat last week against Galaxy. He's not just in form, he's on the edge of competition history as well. He's one off Trezeguet at the top of the scoring charts. He's got 5 to his name this season. Trezeguet with 6, you may have surmised. But he's been rather quiet in this game so far. He hasn't had too much to do, but there's too many of those in yellow on the left-hand side. They've had plenty of possession, but it has been those in black who look the most threatening on the counter-attack as they're trying to get down the left-hand side again, but Santos comes across and does the defensive work, just puts it out for a throw-in, and he's arguing with the referee and with the linesman, and it gets a throw-in that should go Sundowns' way, and eventually Undala and his assistants will make a decision about which way that was going to go. I don't think either over on that far side really knew who that came off last, but they have made a decision which pleases the home fans at least. Down the left-hand side, just sending it in towards the box. Again, just looking for the run this time of Lehaku and Leon, and it goes in towards Leon, but he can't quite get the touch on. He's protesting again that it should be a corner kick, and he's pointing away to the far side. It's a good ball down the left-hand side. He looked like Leon just got a touch onto it last, but he continues to protest with the referee and with the assistant over on the far side, who have had a couple of decisions to make over the last 30 seconds or so, as we're just 12 and a half minutes until half time. And Undala gives it as a goal kick, so it's not going to go the way of Leon on this occasion after the previous one did go their way. 12 minutes until the end of the first half of the first leg. Over on the far side with Rabat, just inside the Sundowns half. Have to retreat back inside their own half once again, and they'll give it away towards Leon on the left-hand side. Can't quite find the path in towards Matthews, just making the run between the two defenders at the back. Slim with the ball on this near side, trying to turn and wriggle free of Madiba. Just about does that and finds a nice pass in towards Abdelhamid. Tries to return it back in towards Slim, but instead finds Udamane in yellow, who goes back towards Williams. And they'll have their own little game between themselves on this near right-hand side. Fali has just gone down off the ball. Undala hasn't given anything here. Sundowns are still going to play on. Undala seems to be a little bit unaware of what's going on the pitch. The Rabat coaches on this near side are up in arms asking for the referee just to stop the game. It's El Fali, the man who's down. Looks like he's got a little bit of cramp. When Williams coming across to try and help him. The linesman is coming across to say that he was just cramped to the Rabat team and coaching staff. Well, the man up top for the military club, he's back onto his feet. We've got Alexandre Santos will not want to see that. Sorry, Slim, the man who was down, and as is traditional in the CAF Champions League, if you do go down, you will just be stretchered off the pitch and treated off the pitch instead, which I'm very much all for across other leagues to avoid time wasting and various other things. But on Slim on that occasion, I think you did see him just pull up. He was unchallenged off the ball. He certainly wasn't trying to play for a free kick. But 10 minutes to go before half time, and temporarily the Moroccans will be down to 10 men. Undala will get the game back underway. Miguel Cardoso, the man in the dugout for Mamelodi's Sundowns, the Portuguese coach appointed in December 2024. He previously managed Esperance de Tunis, adding that North African football thread after Sundowns beat Esperance in the semi-final. He's got North African scars and a South African expectations weighing on his shoulders, hoping that his side can provide a first leg advantage, but so far it's even keel. But here's Adams with the ball just inside the Rabat half with that extra man for the time being. Slim though back onto his feet now and back onto the pitch as well, so Rabat back to a full complement of players, but it's Sundowns once again with the ball, trying to feed it in, and the tackle goes in, and the referee's going to give a free kick right on the edge of the penalty area to those in yellow, 5 yards off the box, just over on the right hand side. It was a ball that came in from the right. It was Mukwena who fed it in towards Leon, who was just taken out at the back by Carneiro, who just came across his man and almost sat on top of him. And the free kick will go the way of the Brazilians. 5 or 6 yards off the edge of the penalty area. Undala puts the Rabat players a couple of yards further back than they were intending to stand, or at least for the time being, as Tagnauti lines up his wall. There's 3 Rabat players in the wall The sun beaming down, it is starting to slowly set, and as it does, a bright orange sunset in the eyes of those in the walls trying to look at their keeper. But there's two standing over it. Santos is one of them, right-footed, leaves it instead, goes around, and Sundowns have the lead. And what a goal from Madiba from the free kick. It was a beautifully taken free kick on the right-hand side, and he's just hammered it into the far right corner. Tagnauti scrambled across his goal line, couldn't get enough, and they're nicknamed the Brazilians. And I tell you what, the national side would certainly love a goal like that in the coming World Cup, because those in yellow here in Pretoria lead by a goal to nil. It's Sundowns 1, Rabat 0, and Aubrey Madiba, the man from the free kick, just puts it into the far corner. What a goal, what a time for them to score as well. 7 minutes before the end of the first half. Rabat just getting themselves into the game, but that possession has finally counted, and what a strike from the big number 6. Adams was in the wall as well for those in yellow, just ran away, opened up the gap. It wasn't closed quick enough down by Hamoudan. The goalkeeper, Tagnauti, should have done better with it. He moved across to his left-hand side, thinking it was going to come over the wall. Instead, it went to his right, and by the time he took one step to his left, it was too late to come back to his right. Fingertips on, but could only push it into the corner of the net. And those in yellow in the stands are starting to have a dance. They've enjoyed that one. They've broken their Rabat clean sheet momentum that they've had throughout this competition inside the first half. The first goal that those in black have scored inside the opening 45 minutes. And it was going to take a brilliant goal to do it. And what a goal that was from Aubrey Madiba. Wonderful strike as Rabat trying to get the ball long, but out of play down the right-hand side for a goal kick to Ronwen Williams, the captain of the Sundowns. He's still a key South African international and will take his time to take the goal kick as well. Just the 6th goal that Tagnauti and Rabat have conceded in this competition. Just the 17th goal they conceded all season, for that matter. And the first, as we said, of the first half. Tagnauti has prevented more goals than any other keeper in the tournament, according to the XGOT model. And looking at goals, XG of the X goals on target. Rabat again will send the ball long, but with 5 minutes to go before half-time, it is those in the home stand here who are enjoying this game so far. The Sundowns took the lead in the final last year as well. They won't remind in what happened in this stadium last time around, that 94th minute equaliser by Pyramids as they tried to get a second down the left-hand side, but it's just a little bit too far in front of Leon, and he just tried to flick it back in towards the box, but couldn't quite get the touch. Johnny, the Brazilians playing like their namesake here in Pretoria, Tijuana. The 2016 winners, runners-up in the 24-25, runners-up in 2001 and the 24-25 season. The domestic South African Premier leaders. But they're showing why they're named the Brazilians today. The rhythm, the angles, the possession and the patience as they've got the ball once again. Looking to try and go over the top, but he just comes off the back of a Sundowns man. I think it was Santos who's actually handled his own ball without really realising that it came off him more than anything. As they stand away to the left-hand side, says the sky's the limit. And Madiba certainly shows that is certainly possible. And Nella just tried to keep control of this game for 3.5 minutes to go before half-time as a free kick goes Rabat's way, and it's halfway inside the Sundowns half, and I'm not too sure where they've pulled that decision from. The linesman off this near side is also 2 yards inside the pitch as well. rather than off the touchline. I'm not too sure he's too sure where he's going either, and the officials made a decision, but I'm not quite sure how they've come to that decision. The Rabat players were certainly protesting for the time being as a free kick comes all the way in, and it was a good ball. Initially looked to be a good ball, but just goes all the way past absolutely everybody, including the captain, Rabat, who looked to be the initial target inside the box, and out for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. And it's been a good first half for those in yellow. They've controlled the game in terms of the possession. They have found themselves almost caught out at the back with El Fali stretching his legs on more than one occasion. His back brings the throw in halfway inside the Sundowns half, just hugging this near side. Plays it nicely off Mukwena and out for another throw, in which Back will try and get quickly as they advance a couple of yards down the right-hand channel, but he has to go back in towards the middle instead, towards Wakani. Sends it in towards the centre half of Ludani, across towards Canyero on the left-hand side. A little bit less patience now from those in black. Now they have the ball. It's on this near right-hand side with Back once again, but he just runs into a little bit of traffic and tries to turn it and feed it in towards Slim. Can't quite find the initial pass, but it does fall kindly in the middle towards Wakani, and Hadrafu goes back inside his own half, skips it down the right-hand channel, looking once again for Rimatu. Just flicks it on. The free kick will go Rabat's way, and the bench of Rabat is up in arms once again, putting pressure on the Congolese referee. The fourth official trying to get the officials of Rabat back inside their dugout. They're protesting absolutely everything. It was a ball down the right. It was flicked on in towards El Fali. Across came Udamani, who had every right to jump and try and win that ball. He won their header, but the referee giving the free kick against him as well, right in front of the away side's dugout on this near right-hand channel. And we've got 60 seconds to go before we find out how much time will be added on in this game. And Sundowns, their record against Moroccan sides has been ever so well. And they tried to take the free kick quickly, and it's an awful decision from Slim. He just plays it straight into Matthews, who was half a yard in front of him. The linesman and the referee happy to allow play on as a tackle goes in again on Hajaraf. He goes down, but the linesman right in front of it says no foul on there, and Rabat have to go back towards the goalkeeper. Wakani goes back towards Tonauti, who's put under pressure again from Leon, who goes down inside the box holding his face. The referee Undala has given a free kick against the Sundowns. It goes Tagnauti's way, but Undala, the referee, he'll be desperate now to get himself into half-time, as both these sides are trying to play and try and convince the referee of fouls going various different ways. Not quite the spirit of the game that we would like to see, and not too sure what Leon is even asking for then. He did get caught a little bit by the arm of the goalkeeper, but it's a motion that is expected when you're taking the ball. You're pushing that right arm out to angle yourself to clear it with your left. And Leon trying to trick the referee. We'll call it cheating, and he's trying to cheat the referee into making a decision that shouldn't have gone his way. But he's back to his feet, and he's absolutely fine and able to run off the minimal contact. And it's with Modiba, the goal scorer, again in towards Adams. Santos inside the centre circle, goes back towards Mudau, moves it across towards the right hand side into Letaku, back inside his own half and is moving towards Udamani. 3 minutes were added on at the end of this first half, of which we've played 60 seconds of the game, of the added time that has been added on at the end of this contest. The Sundowns in their fourth Champions League final. Rabat, the first, and in their first modern CAF Champions League final. 41 years they've been waiting to be back at this stage. They're still involved, they're still in this game. No shadow of a doubt. We're almost a quarter of the way through the two-legged tie. as Williams sends it long from deep inside his own area. Looks for the run of Lukaku. Can't quite win the header, and it's taken down nicely though by Rabat-LIVE, but he'll just go all the way back towards his goalkeeper once more. It's sent long towards the left-hand side. Picked up by Adams in the box. Pushed across towards his near side again, and Undamane. Back down the left-hand channel, just can't quite find the return pass, and it's picked back up again by Rabat, who tries to feed it in towards El Fali, but once again just a little bit too far in front of the Moroccan forward. 7 goals and 2 assists to his name. Was on the bench in their last game for the Moroccan side as the referee blows for half-time. It did say 3 minutes were added on. Instead, he's blown at 2, and it is half-time here in Pretoria, Tijuana. It's the Sundowns who have the lead at half-time. They've had the possession, 70% to 30. They were expected to do that to come into this game. For the majority of the contest, it was Rabat who had the better opportunities to try to get behind the back line of the Sundowns defence, who were playing a really high press. But it was the Sundowns who broke the deadlock 8 minutes before half-time. A free kick 6 yards off the edge of the penalty area over on the right-hand side. Santos left it for Madiba, and what an excellent decision that was, as Madiba struck it beautifully with his left towards the right-hand side of Tagnauti. He took one step to his left, deceived on to his right, and by the time the 30-year-old Moroccan international keeper was able to get across, it was already in the back of his net. Sundowns have scored against Rabat. Rabat have conceded for the first time in the first half of this competition. With still plenty of football to play for, but here at half-time it's Sundowns 1, AS-FAR 0. I should say good evening now, and welcome back to the second half here in Pretoria. Sundowns leading by a goal to nil from that Aubrey Modiba first half thunderbolt from the free kick. 8 minutes before the end of the first half. The players are back out. They're ready to rock and roll for the second half. The referee and his fourth official just having a couple of final words before we get ourselves underway for another 45 minutes of CAF Champions League final action. The second half of the first leg about to get underway. Undala gets himself back into the middle, and those in red and black will be going from right to left. And the referee is just calling over the captains at the moment, so we'll try and keep you up to date with what is going on here. Modiba is, and the referee, Undala is just bringing the players to the sidelines. So the players were ready for both sides, but the referee, after speaking to the fourth official and a CAF official, have decided that it isn't quite ready to go for the start of the second half just yet. So we'll try and keep you up to date with what is going on at the start of this game, and it's not like a little bit of controversy in a final with a referee that is known for controversy in finals. I will give you the teams, because the teams will be unchanged when the game does start. At the moment, the players are just having a little bit of a kick around between themselves, but two unchanged sides. The Sundowns 4-3-1-2 formation. Williams, goalkeeper and captain for the Sundowns. Cupido, Mokwena, Mundao and Udamane are the back for Modiba. Adams and Matthews are three just in front. Letaku and Leon either side of Santos up front for Miguel Cardoso's men. The referee and the assistants also just doing a little bit of warming up as well. The fans unsure about what is going on at the start of this second half. It may be to do with some TV broadcast partner rights. We'll keep you, as I say, up to date. All the players and the officials are all ready to go, so we certainly can't blame the referee, and you do feel for the referee in this circumstance. And for the away side, Taganalti, the goalkeeper. The back three, Abdelhamid on the right, Carneiro on the left of Luadni, who has been the outstanding defender of this competition. We'd have been gutted to see that free kick from Modiba hit the back of the net. Back and Rabat, the captain, the two in front, and the four sitting behind El Fali. Almudan on the left, Slim on the right, who's been trying to stretch his legs alongside El Fali down that right hand side. Hadraf and Wakane, the two midfielders just behind, but Rabat, who tried to be a little bit more defensively, sat back and invited the pressure onto themselves from the Sundowns inside the first half, tried to play it over the top and be a little bit more tactical. They are structurally strong in the defence. It's the best defence in the season's competition, even with that goal going in the first half. The question is whether they can carry enough attacking threat away from the home side, given their weaker continental away scoring record. The risk was always if they sat a little bit too deep, the Sundowns build-up machine can start to suffocate them a little bit too much, but they did ever so well inside that first half to control this game. But if you are a betting man right now, the Sundowns are 4-1 odds on, and the draw 4-1, the away side 14-1 to turn this game on its head. And I think Undala is now happy. I should say he's been told, and I think he's about to be happy to get this game back underway. It's a little bit late start to the second half. The captains have been brought over once again by Undala. He's just explaining something to them about the reason for the delay. It's all smiles in the middle of the park, but a debate just being had in the centre of the pitch between Rabat and Undala, the referee. We'll try and find out what is going on for you here. Still a break in play. Normally games are stopped if something's going on in the crowd, but I can't see anything happening in the crowd, and I can't get word in my ear as well about what the referee is saying to the captains. The debate still continues between the referee and the two in the centre of the pitch. They're having a conversation now between themselves. Undala will now make his way off the pitch once more, and it's not without controversy. And the poor man in the middle, who was the man in charge of the African Cup of Nations final, he's now at the heart of it once again. He comes off and starts to have a little bit of a word with the officials, but we are still waiting for the second half to get underway once more. We are momentarily being delayed. An official stood with the referee. Ronwen Williams has gone over to have a conversation. If you are just tuning back in towards the second half, it hasn't actually got underway just yet. Everybody is out. There's now somebody on the phone having a conversation on this near side, and after what happened at the African Cup of Nations, this isn't what CAF would want to see. And the referee was pointed to VAR, signalled for VAR, called his, crossed his arms over, and now points back onto the pitch. And this is a world of confusion, and I apologise for not being able to clear up what is going on here. On the pitch, it's not clear to the fans inside the stadium. It's not clear to anybody whatsoever. The players still continue to try and keep themselves warm. Bear with me whilst I do try and find what is going on at the start. Try and talk to someone to get more information about what is going on at the start of this second half, because it's still not got underway. Players trying to keep themselves warm on this near side. Fans getting a little bit angsty in the stands as well. Smiles on the pitch. Undala, who's been at the heart of debates before. Not his fault on this occasion. Right now, the game is not back underway here for the second half just yet. Sundown players keeping warm to the left, the far and the back players trying to keep warm away to the right hand side, but in the final it should have got back underway 10 minutes ago. The game has been delayed for the time being. The referee once again having words with players on the pitch. There's someone on this near side on the phone trying to give us a bit more information. I don't get why there is a stop here. Hopefully it is nothing serious, but from what we can see, everybody's ready to go. The fans are ready, the players are ready, the coaches are ready, the officials are ready, but there's a lady on the phone down at the front dictating what is happening. And right now, there is no football being played between either of these two sides. And it's not very fitting of the competition. It's not very fitting at all. There's no explanation that has been given as to why there is currently a delay to the game. The fans in the stands waiting eagerly. We wait eagerly for an explanation as well. I'm trying to keep you as up to date as I can with what we can see here in front of us. But unfortunately, there isn't too much that we can offer in terms of any information or advice of what is happening. I'll run you through the teams once again. If the expected teams were when the game does get back underway, the Sundowns with Williams in goal, the captain Cupido, Mokwena, Mudau and Udamane, the back four. Modiba, Adams, Matthews, the three in front. Taku, Santos and Leon. The front three in that 4-3-1-2 formation for Miguel Cardozo's men. Alexandre Santos. As the debate continues now between Rabat coaches and the Sundown coaches, and the referee continuing to have the conversation on the near side. The players must be getting cold. Tag now to the goalkeeper Carnejo, Uadni, Abdelhamid, Rimati in back, the captain Rimati in front, Hamudan Hadraf, Rakani and Slim, the four in front of that, and El Fali, the man up front, as both sides, the Sundowns are going through what looks like pre-match drills away to the left-hand side. Rabat players are eager to get on with it, and all that talk at half-time of what the players need to do, all that instruction, all that pent-up frustration from Rabat and adrenaline that these two sides will have had coming out for the second half. Zundala asked for a ball. But here in Pretoria, the beating heart of African football, the CAF Champions League final having more controversy. We saw it in the African Cup of Nations. We're now seeing it in their prime domestic competition. It's not a good look for football. Delays can be expected if something unfortunate is taking place. But there is no indication of what that is at this stage of the afternoon. The officials still having more words. The linesman on this near side, he's ready to go. He's not actually really moved from this near side. He's just been perched on the touchline right in front of the Rabat dugout. And he's ready to go just like everybody else. And I think we may almost be ready to go. The players are back out into their formations. 17 minutes after the second half should have started. We may be about to get underway once more. Undala looks towards the near side to try and get confirmation. It can go ahead from the CAF official. But for CAF once more, it is poor on their behalf. It is poor from CAF. The referee still waiting his decision. The players are ready. We're ready. The fans are ready. Debates are still being had. Krimat over on the right-hand side, having a conversation with the referee once more. And it just goes on and on and on. And I believe it's to do with VAR not working. So VAR is currently not working, which has caused the delay to the start of the second half. So CAF won't play until VAR is working. Wasn't needed in the first half. Maybe it's about time we just accept the referee and the linesman need to referee the game as they would previously instructed before technology gets involved. But for CAF's perspective, this is embarrassing once more at the height of football. It's the top tier competition in African football, and it brings controversy once more. There's 7 people on the near side having a conversation with the referee, everybody having their own input, and it's more drama that African football does not need to have. The focus should be on those players on the pitch, the Sundowns players and the Rabat players, playing in one of the biggest games of their lives, of the competition. Rabat haven't been at this stage since 1985. The nerves before the game, the nerves at half-time being 1-0 down would certainly be something that is going to just keep on growing. The Sundowns players were here last year, conceded in the 94th minute in that game. How they would love to put that behind them. They're being delayed once more. What must be going through the players' minds here is the embarrassing situation of VAR not working in a final on the biggest stage of them all in African football, in African domestic football. Both these sides have plenty of players that play very top-level football as well. Plenty will be going to the World Cup. For the Sundowns, there's plenty that will be playing for Bafana, Ronwen Williams, Aubrey Madiba, Kuliso Mudau, Tabo Mokwena, and Ikram Reyners, who isn't in the squad this afternoon, but being dropped from the bench, are all players that will be looking to go to the World Cup in the summer for Morocco. The players that have reported for the preliminary camp, or will be reporting for the preliminary camp. I can't say the word, I won't say it again. Rabi Hramat, Ahmed Agnaut, the goalkeeper, and that's back the midfielder. El Fali, the man up top, and Khedani. All playing for those in black will be going to the World Cup this summer, at least in the preliminary squad. And Morocco's World Cup squad is stacked with global names. The Bats have domestic players trying to force their way into the conversation once more, and after thinking the game was going to get itself back underway, we're back with the players warming up on the near side. The referee calls them over back to the middle once more. We may be back underway shortly. We may not be. We may be. And I think we have got VAR working once more. The referee has signalled it's working. The cheer goes up in the stands. And after 22 minutes of delay, Rabat will get us underway. If you have just joined us for the second half, we're just about to get underway for the second half. So if you had to go and do something for 25 minutes or so at the top of the hour, well, you're in luck. We are underway once again, and it's Rabat who are going to try and quickly get down the left-hand side, and good defensive work. After the delay, the players must be very, very cold. You've got to feel for the referee, Undala. It wasn't his fault whatsoever. There was a reason why there was a delay. It's just unfortunate that he is the referee at the centre of a controversy once more, but it was VAR that was broken. We're 60 seconds into the second half. Still 1-0 to Sundowns, and I'll run you through the teams once more as a free kick goes Rabat's way, halfway inside the Sundowns half, away to the left-hand side. Williams, the goalkeeper and captain for those in yellow, the Brazilians. The right-back, Corpido of the back four, Mokwena and Mudau, the two centre-halves, with Undamane at left-hand side. Modiba, Adams and Matthews are three just in front, and Letaku and Leon either side of Santos, the number 10 for Miguel Cardoso's men. And for Alexandre Santos, the 3-2-4-1 formation he has retained for the second half. Dagnauti, the goalkeeper, Abdelhamid, the right back, Cañero, the left back, Luadni in the middle of the three. Captain Ramat is alongside back just in front. Hamudan, Hadraf, Wakane and Slim, the four behind El Fali. Is the free kick 15 yards, 20 yards outside the box towards the left-hand side. Floated by Slim in towards him. Oh, and it's flicked on. The keeper's going to make a save, pulled back across, but then the linesman's flag goes up on the far side for offside against Rabat. And it's good attacking intent as the start of the second half for Rabat. After plenty of pressure they have to endure in that first half. Local time 5:25, the second half getting underway at 5:24. The start of the second half, but for these two sides once again doing well domestically. South African top fighters, they seem to be dominated by Sundowns to a level that makes every non-title season feel like a shot. They sit top with Orlando Pirates, close enough to keep the domestic conversation alive. They missed out as an opportunity yesterday, the Pirates, to go above them to top the table. With just one game to go in the league table, in the league fixtures. Orlando Pirates play Orbit College on the 23rd. For the Sundowns, their league season is over. They can't add any more points to their tally at the top of the table. So if Orlando Pirates, who could have won the league yesterday, win their final game, of which they have to beat the side who is still challenging to stay up with one game to go, Orbit College, 15th out of the 16th place in that relegation playoff spot, level on points with Galants above them and 1 point behind Chippa United. They can find themselves picking up a point to win as well, so it's not quite a formality for the Orlando Pirates, despite only losing 3 games all season, scoring 56 and conceding just 12 goals. Failed to make that opportunity count yesterday afternoon in the other leads going around Europe. Plenty happening there. 4 minutes in the second half here. Still 1-0 to the Sundowns as the Portuguese manager Cardoso just has a word with the fourth official on the near side. Man United beat Nottingham Forest 3-2 early run in the afternoon. Crystal Palace lead against Brentford by 2-1. The second half goal from Adam Wharton, trying to get himself in the England side as well, giving Palace the lead once more. Everton and Sunderland is 1-1. Leeds and Brighton 1-1 with 19 minutes to go in that game. And Wolves already relegated and pretty much embarrassed this season, drawing 1-1 at home to Fulham in Scotland. Plenty of goals going in today. An embarrassment yesterday once again in the Scottish top flight over the last week. 6 very questionable decisions have all gone the way of Celtic, which raises plenty of questions over in the Scottish top flight. an offside goal yesterday, and then the game seemingly ended a minute early after Celtic fans went on to the pitch. And we've seen it in lower leagues of various competitions before where that's happened, and a 3-0 win has been awarded to the side's fans who didn't invade the pitch. So we'll see if anything does come of that. Over in Italy, Inter Milan drawing 1-1 at home to Hellas Verona. They've already won the league. Napoli have already got themselves Champions League football against Pisa, winning by 3-0. There's plenty of games going on as well. Como will give themselves a chance for Champions League football after beating Parma by 1-0, but Roma just above them beat Lazio by 2-0, which had a little bit of pressure. But here, 5 minutes into the second half, Sundowns with the ball, just playing it back towards Ronwen Williams away to the left-hand side, and sends it again over towards the far side in towards Udamane. You mentioned what's going on in South Africa, in Morocco. Lubotala has become one of the strongest domestic competitions and platforms in African club football. Wydad Raja, RS Berkane and Rabat, all relevant in continental competition. It doesn't just stop at Casablanca. UNOFFICIAL are here to try and make Rabat the centre of Africa for a week at least. As El Fally just tries to get hold of the ball down the left-hand side, but can't quite get his foot onto it, and it goes out for a Sundown set piece. 7 minutes then gone in this game. We'd say it's a game of 2 halves. Well, this is a game of 4 halves for both of these two sides. Williams plays it short and has it back inside his box away to the left-hand side. Just controlling the momentum at the start of the second half as they did in that first half. Controlling the possession as a tackle goes inside the centre circle, but it's won back by Rabat, who will bring it forward down the middle with Hramati. Sends it down the right-hand channel, looking for Slim, but he just slips on the ball once more as it goes out for a throw-in. And the second half just starts without any real impetus from either of these two sides. Rabat have the majority of the possession at the start of the second half, but that 20-minute extra break, half-time, taking 37 minutes because of VAR failing to work at the start of the second half. Everybody was ready. The referee came back out and he was quickly summoned over to the near side. The header comes forward, but it goes all the way through again towards Ronwen Williams, the captain, over on the left-hand side. And how that really has affected both of these two sides. Cardoso and Santos, the two Portuguese managers in charge of these two teams, both trying to get their sides a little bit more up for it. They've got to try and warm themselves up. Over on this near right-hand side, a lovely little ball just swung kindly in towards Lataku. In towards Santos, takes it onto his left-hand side, just angles a shot in, but he's blocked by the first man. And out for a throw-in on this near side, and it's the man who's blocked more than anybody else in this competition this season, Luadni. And it's out for a throw-in. No, the linesman on this near side has given a free kick to Rabat, and it would have been for a late decision for offside, but it's taken quickly by Carniera. Sends it down the left-hand channel, but it's good defensive work, excellent defensive work, in fact, by Cupido to go back towards his goalkeeper, but it's been given away on the edge of the box. Then a long-range effort comes in, and it's a bit of a lazy shot from Rabat, 30 yards out, and El Fally just took the ball. Slim just took the ball, he saw the lights, and he almost hit the lights rather and sending Rabat into the stratosphere, but it was a poor ball. He really should have fed it towards the edge of the box after it was fed into him. El Fally was there inside the D, on the edge of the Sundowns penalty area. Well, not to be on that occasion, but a good sighter, at least at the start of this second half. 9 minutes, 10 minutes have been played in this second half. It's Sundowns that still lead by 1-0 now in the attack down the left-hand channel, just trying to make their way down over on that far side. Pulled back out towards Mukwena. Little back heel in towards Santos, who just keeps hold of the ball. Plays it back in towards Adams. 5 yards off the far side, touchline just inside the Rabat half. Now pulled back in towards the centre circle and moved from left to right and in towards Mudau. Plays it over towards Cupido. Mudau once again. We'll go back towards Williams, 10 yards off the edge of his own area when we should be coming into the final 10 minutes of the game. We've still got 35 minutes of the competition, of this first leg of the competition still to play. A reminder, on the 24th, these two sides will meet once again in Rabat. The away side on the occasion tonight will be hoping that at worst the Sundowns have just a slender lead. A lovely ball's play in that corridor of uncertainty again from Sundowns, and Cunero just has to deal with it and puts it out for a corner kick. And the Sundowns starting to build themselves into this second half and get themselves into the ascendancy. They have a corner kick on this near side, and the reinforcements will start to make their way from the back in towards the boxers. Santos comes across to take the corner kick. It'll be an outswinger as Leon, Adams, Modiba and Mokwena make their way in towards the penalty spot. It's played in towards Mokwena, but he can't quite keep his header down, and it goes out for a goal kick away to the right hand side. But it was an excellent ball in from Santos, first time ball. Love it's going to be a first time ball. It's a corner kick, but a ball in towards the box, in towards Mokwena. And I think that little stoppage in players sent me a little bit doolally as well. But all we do know is it's a goal kick to Rabat. Over on the right hand side, their fans who have made their long journey from the top of the north of Africa to the bottom of the south of it. It's not a short journey. That's certainly a fact. And it's the home side again, coming towards the edge of the area. Nice little turn, touch, shot, and it's just over the top of the bar for Sundowns, and they're starting to build a little bit of momentum, and it's Leon once again. It was a good ball down the left-hand side, just caught Rabat wanting over on the far side, pulled back towards the edge of the area, and that's the man you would want it to have fallen to. Santos with the ball back across, and Leon with one touch took it on to his right and just couldn't get enough direction behind it. More of a toe poke more than anything. There was a Rabat player on the deck in front of them, in front of him. It was Kwakani who did enough just to put off the big number 12 for the Sundowns, the Colombian striker. The 25-year-old scored in both semi-final legs against Esperance. He's one off the top scorer Trezeguet in the competition this season. Trezeguet still leading with 6 goals. He scored 5 in the last 7. Scored 5 of the last 8, sorry. CAF Champions League goals that the Sundowns have now scored, and in each of his last 4 starts, and he'll certainly want to try and continue that record today, but not to be on that occasion. 14 minutes gone inside this second half. A long throw looking to go down the right hand channel, but it's retreated and returned back towards the halfway line. Santos trying to battle in the middle once more with Kwakani, but loses out, and then it's just sent forward again by Cunero, and come off a Sundowns man, Letaku, and out for it, throwing halfway inside their own half. Going to try and make a couple of extra yards on the throw-in. Undala, the referee, allows him to just stretch his legs, and in doing so, and he tried to find out Fally up front, but he loses out on the header as it goes out for a throw into those in yellow. The Sundowns, we know, will want the ball more than anything. Their build-up days before this game and during the first half certainly shows why. They've scored 6 goals after 10-plus pass build-up sequences, far more than anybody else. They're at their best when they can lock opponents in, circulate, change the points of attack, and then accelerate through with Mokwena. Allende, who's on the bench this afternoon, who could potentially come on as well for the Sundowns, who do have an excellent bench in waiting. They've got the goalkeeper Dennis Onyago, they've got Keegan Johannes, who dropped to the bench for this game, as well as Divine Lunga, Zuko Undulyawa, Zawane Allende Saleng, Arthur Sales, and Lebo Morthiba. And for the away side, They've got El Kayati, El Abd, Ekshamaku dropped to the bench as well. Kasu Ratzu, El Kiev, Umbemba, Burika and Kaba. All on the bench for the away side, ready to make an impact. But with 30 minutes to go, the final third of the game, neither side is yet blink first for the substitutes. And Sundowns quite happy with how this game is going so far. They have possession away to the left-hand side with Ronwen Williams inside his own box. The one thing they will try and keep to a bare minimum with the challenges that have gone in. The referee had to give a yellow card in this game. The Sundowns having a red card in the last two matches they played on the road, and it's all just fall through in towards Leon. If he can see it into the keeper here, saves on the first instance, back out towards Matthews. The linesman's flag does go up on this near side though. Leon just for a moment found himself in behind the back line. He strayed just a yard or so offside. It was a wonderful ball from the far side, and I don't think he was offside at all. It was poor from Rabat on the first instance. They got themselves all in a muddle, playing it off each other. It then fed in towards Leon. Took way too long to make his decision, and by the time he tried to hit the ball, Tagnauti came off his line. It's a poor clearance on the left-hand side. Almost finds the ball in towards Rabat, but they'll have a throw-in level with the edge of the Sundowns penalty area and from one side to the other. Leon hasn't had the best of games for the man that you'd love to have, but always given away by Rabat. Fed back in towards the man you'd like it to. Back through a goal, and he's put it wide on this occasion. He kicks the ball away in frustration on the rebound, but inside 2 minutes, two wonderful chances, and he's once again fed through down the middle. The keeper went down to his left-hand side. He tried to then feed it to the keeper's right, Leon, centre of the goal gaping in that corner. It's an absolute sitter from Leon Muniz, and he's missed a gilt-edged chance to double the Sundowns lead. The sun's gone down here in Pretoria, and Leon could almost have risen. A bit of spark and a bit of brightness there for the Praetorians, but not to be. And that is a huge miss and could have huge implications. But the Sundowns picking the ball up as Rabat just can't seem to get hold of the ball. Gifted away back in towards the middle once more. Matthews trying to stride down the left-hand side. Links in nicely with Undamane. Space down the left-hand channel, he can find it. Plays in towards Leon, who tries to flick it over towards his near side and links in towards Lehaku, but given away. Retreated back in again towards Leon. This time it does find, and it's what a save that is from Tagnauti. He didn't know too much about it, but it looked like it was just going to dive into the bottom corner of the goal. And the Sundowns are applying plenty of pressure, but they just can't find a way through. And on this occasion, it's the keeper who pulls an absolute worldie of a save out. He didn't know much. It was Letlaku who got there. It went underneath the goalkeeper. Thought it might have squirmed past him into the back of the net, but it just went a whisker wide. They won't get closer without scoring on that occasion. And Rabat breathe a sigh of relief as they continue to fight away in this game. As a free kick goes against them for a handball just inside their own half, a yard or so off the far touchline. But we've seen it time and time again in football, where these chances that aren't taken are punished at the other end. But the Sundowns continue with the ball, applying more and more pressure on those in black in this second half. 20 minutes gone inside the second period. It's on this near side for Lataku. Sends it down the left channel, but the free kick goes against the Sundowns, and it's Slim who's doing the defensive work. He's been trying to do everything over on the far side, and this time he's back doing the defensive work himself once more. Well, Lyon has missed two absolute sitters in this second half. Lukaku forcing the keeper into the save. It went just wide of his left-hand post. As the substitutes start to line up, and it will be Rabat who will blink first, and probably rightly so, from Alessandro Santos. It looks like it's going to be Nolan Umbemba, the man who will make his way on, and it's going to be Slim who will come off. Now the ball is out of play on this near side, and Santos reacting to the pressure that his side are currently under. There's still another 90 minutes to be played in Morocco. In a week's time, they cannot afford to be 2-0 down going into that game. As lovely little flick around the corner from Leon, but he loses his footing at the same time as well. Squakane comes away with the ball over on the far side, back inside their own half, looking to go over the top again towards El Fali, who gets his first touch, I think, of this second half for the Moroccans. As it's lost out over on the far side, and Sundowns doing the defensive work that we have seen time and time again from Rabat this season. Umbemba, the man who makes his way on, the 31-year-old Congo international midfielder. He's got European experience as well, which certainly does help him. In their last game against Hassania, he replaced Ramati at half-time. Had to wait a little bit longer to come on in the second half. He replaced the 26-year-old Moroccan winger Reda Slim, returned from Al Ali. Gives that big game pedigree as well for the away side. 22 minutes then to go in this game. It's still the Sundowns that lead by a goal to nil. Plenty of opportunities inside this second half for the home side to add to their lead, but not to be, as it remains 1-0 to the Brazilians. Over. There's Militas. Again over in the Premier League. Sunderland lead by 2-1 against Everton. The only change of those late kickoffs there, and a late goal there. They've had an excellent season, Sunderland, in that game. There's also fixtures going on across Europe this evening as well. La Liga starts to wind itself down. League 1 as well will all finish at 9 o'clock tonight, local time. The Turkish League been decided. Galatasaray once more for the 5th time in a row, winning that division with Fenerbahce second. But here comes Rabat on the right-hand side, trying to whip it in, but it just bypasses everyone once more. Kept in on the near side just about by Carniero, and he goes in towards Lukaku as well. Gets the throw in quickly. It's whipped back in towards the box first time, but it's headed back out and away. Hamadan tried to get the ball in as a free kick goes to Rabat inside the centre circle. And with 20 minutes to play, it is frantic here in Pretoria. Both sides trying to get themselves forward. Rabat trying to get themselves into the game a little bit more. As time has gone on, the momentum was certainly in the Sundowns' favour, but those two huge misses away to our right-hand side could prove to be absolutely massive over these two legs. As the Sundowns try and get bodies back in numbers, as the ball just comes in deep cross, but it's comfortable for Williams. Just pluck it out of the sky. It's meat and drink for a goalkeeper of his ilk. He'll be playing in the World Cup in the summer, and that is just catching practice for Ronwen Williams. Away from that right-hand side, the cross comes in. And he'll do that time and time again, with a slender lead here that the Sundowns had, leaving by a goal to nil. Williams certainly took a little bit longer than the traditional 8 seconds, which was a rule that was brought in at the start of this season that hasn't really materialised at all. I don't think I've actually seen that 8-second rule applied at least once. Back in the UK, I'm a Rotherham United fan. If you don't know about Rotherham, do look into them. They are absolutely terrible, got relegated to the 4th tier. But I've certainly seen games played, the ref and keepers holding it for plenty more than 8 seconds. The cross comes in from the far side and it's in towards the captain, Rabat, but he can't get his header down once more and it goes out for a goal kick. But they're starting to just get a little bit more momentum themselves in this game, and as time goes on, they've got through that period of the game where they do concede in the CAF Champions League. Before tonight, all 5 goals they conceded in this competition came between the 50th and the 70th minute. As we just creep over into the 71st minute, they have got through that period. They don't give away too many goals at all, do Rabat, but they're under plenty of pressure. Williams from the goal kick sends it to the right hand side in towards Mudau, who just looks long for the head of Leon, but it's returned back nicely by Luadi into Sundowns territory. Once more, but out for a goal kick, and it's really simple for the Sundowns here, as once again they just try to make their way forward down the left hand side. They're applying a little bit more pressure. It's taken quickly, and here they come again down the left hand side, putting in towards the area, and it's into the side netting from the far side, and they'll just continue to apply the pressure on this Rabat defence. It was great work down the left. Letlaku was the man who just picked up the ball, striding forward, got behind the back line, drove in towards the box, and then his strike into the far deep corner of the side netting. The goalkeeper, Dagnauti, wasn't too concerned by it. He might be concerned about another attack down the left-hand side once again from the Sundowns, just a little bit too far in front and out for a goal kick, and that's poor from those in yellow. Really simple ball down the left-hand side that really should have been played. I think it's Modiba, the man that played the pass, and he's signalling now that he needs to come off as well, holding his hamstring for the time being. The Sundowns are down to 10 men, and Rabat charging down the left-hand side. Brought back towards the right corner of the area. Floated in towards the box. El Fali decided for a moment, it looked like he might have gone for a spectacular in the overhead kick, but instead he goes for a header, and he got himself all with a muddle of what he wanted to do, and he just played it straight into the sky, higher than Bob Marley, and it was easy for Ronwen Williams to just pluck it out of the sky unchallenged. 17 minutes to go then in this game, still 1-0 to those in yellow. If you joined late, the second half started 22 minutes late because of VAR not working. The poor referee Undala was the man at the centre of the AFCON controversy, probably a scapegoat more than anything from that game. Well, he's also been at the centre of it again today, but this time VAR was the problem. Modiba, the physio has come on for him, and he will be stretched off. The man that gave the Sundowns a lead won't see this game out. It was a beautiful free kick from inside the first half, 8 minutes before the end. The sun was beaming down on the Sundowns at that moment as Modiba's left boot shone a light as he powered it into the right-hand corner. The keeper wrong-footed, and that slight touch to the left from Dagnauti meant that Modiba's strike beat him all ends up to his right-hand side. There'll be 2 changes made by the Sundowns here with 15 minutes to play on the clock. Modiba will be one of those that will come off. He was holding his hamstring. It's going to be Divine Lunga, one of those players that will make their way on. He's the Zimbabwean international fullback. He usually comes on for late left-sided protection. And they'll also bring on Saleng for Letaku. So Monapule Saleng is the first man to make his way onto the pitch. For those in yellow, and then they'll make a second substitution as well with Modiba certainly about to make his way off, although I think he's going to try and continue in this game, so it will just be the purple head. Saleng for the time being. No, he has decided he will be off, and that change that we were expecting will be made for the home side. So 2 changes. Lunga on for Modiba, the man that can play at left back, the Zimbabwean. Neighbouring Zimbabwe makes his way on. And Saleng coming on for the front man. Letaku hasn't had too much to do in this game up top, but it has just allowed the time just to draw down a little bit as well as the ball's back into play and then cleared up over on the right hand side, and Rabat will react as well as they're looking to make a substitute as well on this near side, and I believe it's Hadraf who will make his way on off for Burika. Hadraf, who himself has struggled in that 4 behind the back line, but he won't be coming on just yet as the Sundowns still have the ball inside their own half. The game just being slowed down by both sides, but they'll bring the striker Bariga on, who is now onto the pitch on this near side. Drop for this game, the 25-year-old Moroccan who played in the last game. He was brilliant and brought others into play against Hassiana in the last game. He assisted both El Klief's goals in the 3-2 win in that game before coming off on the 70th minute. And on this occasion, he is the man that's being brought on late to try and add a little bit of value at the end for Rabat, who is still not out of this contest with 90 minutes to play in the next game in Rabat next week, but 12 minutes to play here in Pretoria. The Sundowns still lead by a goal to nil, trying to get the ball forward in towards Rabat territory. A header from Abdelhamid just goes straight up in the air, and he's going to have to get himself underneath that once again. Manages to get it into the Sundowns territory. A little bit of ping-pong between the two sides. Now it's brought down over on the far right-hand side by Mbemba. Tries to feed it down, but it goes out of play for a throw-in once more, and the Sundowns will just wind the clock down as well in this game. They know what happened this time last year when they conceded in the 94th minute on home soil, how they would hate for that to happen once again, but down the channels and on the flanks, and not allowing Rabat to stretch them whatsoever. Rabat have been trying to get themselves behind the back line. They were doing it excellently in the first half, but in this second half they've really struggled to put any real pressure on the Brazilians here. It's sent down the right-hand channel again for the Sundowns, bringing it into play. In towards Adams. Goes backwards in towards Mudau, playing in that right-back role. And a couple of changes have been made, so Mudau will be sitting on the right-hand side. Cupido and Udamane are the two centre-halves, with Lunga as left-back. Mokwena, Adams and Letaku, the three in front. Santos still in the middle, but with Matthews now on the right-hand side, and Leon still over on the left. The away side, Rabat, well, they've got a change of formation as well. They've gone to a very traditional 4-4-2. Back is at left back. Pinheiro still at the left, and Abdelhamid and Luadi are the two centre halves, and Slim over on the right of that midfield four. Ukane, Krimat and Hamoudan, the four sitting behind El Fali. And the man that came on for Hadraf, Burika. So all changes for both of these two sides, as the home side look to make another change as well, just to wind the clock down. Santos will make his way off in that front three, and Allende will make his way on. For the home side, and with less than 10 minutes to play, it looks like they'll be making a double substitution once more. No, it will just be Lende Mudau was making his way over, but he's actually just coming over to take the throw-in to get the game back underway. 10 minutes then to go in this game. It's all to play for between these two sides. Sundowns still lead by 1-0 against Rabat. The Sundowns with the balls, they've had it for the majority of this game. They've controlled the possession 70% to 30% in their favour. They've had two massive chances in this second half. 4 corners to 1, 486 passes to 215 that Rabat have had. Rabat have had more free kicks, but on the scoreboard, where the stats really do matter, the Sundowns still lead by 1-0 with 8 minutes to play plus stoppage time in this game. Those in yellow just controlling the ball inside their own half as they try and just retain possession, invite Rabat onto them. They know they don't have to do too much more than this against Rabat. They have an excellent defensive record themselves in this competition. They need to make sure that home advantage has counted going into the second leg, even if it is just a slender lead, as it's given away from Rabat in towards the middle and charging forward. Again is Adams trying to race himself through the middle. He's taken out for good measure, and the first booking will be made by the referee as Mbemba goes into the referee's book for a late challenge. On Adams, who was just charging forward down the middle of the pitch. He just picked up the ball, drove down the middle, and it's now another opportunity for the Sundowns to have a free kick, an opportunity to strike one from distance. Want more? There's 4 inside the wall, 10 yards off the edge of the penalty area. There's no Madiba on the pitch. He's been taken off injured inside this second half, so it will fall to another man in yellow to take it. Now 5 in the wall. Back is one of them. The captain, Primat, is another. 2 stand over the wall on the edge of the area. There's 1 behind. Lying down behind the wall once more, and it's Mukwena who looks the most likely to try and strike this. He left it in the first half for Madiba, and rightly so from him. And as the referee just tries to align the wall, as does the goalkeeper Tagnauti, tries to get his wall ready. It is Mukwena who stands over it with 7 minutes to go. In this game, the referee having a word with the man laying behind the wall as well. Just delays the time. The Sundowns are happy. Mukwena picks the ball up as the time is trickling down, certainly in their favour. And if they can get something from this, Adams will stand in front of the wall. The wall's still not where it wants to be. They're arguing between themselves, the Rabat players, about where players need to be stood here. The keeper Tagnauti still trying to move them around. He's had about 2 to 3 minutes. Mukwena standing over the ball, as is Matthews. But it looks to be Mukwena who will take this one. Salenga's joined as well. Matthews has made his way towards the right hand side of the box. The referee coming back across to have another conversation with those in the wall. It is a decisive moment of this game with a free kick, but everyone now getting involved. Rabat players are starting to move their way forward off the line. Mukwena comes off the ball and says they're nowhere near the line. They've made about 2 or 3 yards headway, the Rabat players. It's all getting a little bit silly. The Rabat players, they're trying to gain an advantage by moving forward. They're still continuing to stride forward. They're all making steps away. They're just wasting their own time here, the Rabat players. The referee just says, get on with it. Mukwena gets back on the free kick, sends it over the wall, off the post and out, and almost into the back of the net. And you feel it would have served the Rabat players right for wasting their time and limiting how much time they would have had to find a reply. But it was almost a perfect free kick 5 minutes before the end of this contest from Mokoena. Over the top of the wall. The keeper left stranded. And what a free kick that was. Had the keeper beaten all ends up. And it was almost a second free kick in this game that almost doubled the Sundowns lead. Time is running out, and it's running in the favour of those in yellow. 4 minutes to go plus stoppage time in this CAF Champions League final. First leg, and it's so exciting. I hit the mic as I move around to try and angle myself a little bit better. Rabat send the ball over the top, looking for the runner behind, but good defending again at the back from the Sundowns. Ronwen Williams salutes his centre half. In Cupido, who's moved across to that centre half position, and he did ever so well to get the header back towards the South African international keeper. He takes his time to roll it out once more. Move now towards his near right-hand channel. Down and in towards Matthews. Sends it in towards Saleh. Comes back towards the centre half again, towards Cupido, who just looks long to send it down the right-hand channel, and he forces Carneiro to just get his head onto it. Saleh was chasing in. Carneiro got himself all in a mix there and just had to get something on it and played it out for a throw on this near side, halfway inside the Rabat half. 2.5 minutes to go in this game. It's Sundowns still leading on home soil. A reminder that he conceded, though, in the 94th minute against Pyramids at this stage of the competition last season in the first leg on home soil of the CAF Champions League final. But at the moment, it's the Madiba free kick from the first half that separates these two sides in this contest. It's not been without drama whatsoever. They're lining up two changes as well on the near side. Are the Sundowns to bring two more players on? One of those is Arthur Seles, the 23-year-old Brazilian. Sundowns again trying to make a bit of headway down the left-hand side, but good defensive work on that occasion by Rabat. Brave, in fact, on the far side to just get bodies back in numbers to snuff out the danger. But played back in towards the Sundowns player. It's going to be another free kick to the Sundowns, this time a little bit further out as Allende was just upended by Mohamed Ramat. He just came across. It was excellent work from Allende. Skip past one. And Ramat wasn't having anything to do with that and just takes his man out and stops him from striding forward once more. And Mokoena may fancy another opportunity from here. It's a little bit further out than the one he hit the post from moments before. Saleh warming himself up on the near side, as is Lebo Mothiba, the Bafana striker with French Ligue 1 experience with Lille and Strasbourg. It'll be Matthews who will make way in the first instance for Arthur Saleh. He's part of that attacking three behind Leon in the Galaxy match, where the Sundowns generated an excellent XG. 28 touches in the opposition box in that game to still lose by 3-2, but he was an excellent player that had plenty of ability. As he makes his way on for Matthews, who continues to take his time to come off the pitch, and you can't really blame him as the time winds down here. The second change will be made as well. It'll be Leon who will make his way off for Mothiba. A like-for-like change up front for the Sundowns as we head into the 90th minute of this game. Time will be added on, and plenty of time will be added on as well, if it's not just for that free kick. But into time added on, there's three inside the wall. It's flicked over in towards the edge of the area and then knocked down, and it's blocked once more. And El Fally up front will Stayed down inside his own area just to delay the time once more, and he's down with cramp for second time in this game. He was down inside the first half as well. There's 90 minutes almost up on the clock here in Pretoria. Sundowns leading by a goal to nil, and Leon, who came off for Mathiba, scored in his last 4 CAF Champions League games, and on this occasion not able to continue that wonderful trend that he has. He's missed 2 absolute sitters though in this game to double the lead, and the way Sundowns are playing, you thought they may have added another one, as 5 minutes have been added on at the end of this game, with 60 seconds already gone into that time added on here in Pretoria. Tagnauti will try and get on with his goal kick quickly away to the right hand side, but he was set through at the start of the second half. Leon Muniz, the keeper. Tagnauti went down to his left, allowed the space to his right hand side, and Leon put it wide, and it was an absolute gilt-edged chance as it's sent forward by the goalkeeper down the left-hand side for Rabat. Can't quite get hold of it, goes in towards Ronwen Williams, who will just keep hold of the ball, moves it towards the right-hand side. Slow, methodical play now from the Sundowns. They know, as it stands, they'll have a lead going into the second leg. There's 3 minutes of stoppage time to play here in a game that has had plenty of quality, controversy and delay, although the delay was because of the controversy, with VAR not working after the end of half time, which delayed us by over 20 minutes for the start of this second half, and it's not done too many favours for any of the players that were on the pitch. It's been a second half that has really lacked the quality that the first half seemed to have. As the Sundowns send it towards the left-hand side, but out of play, and it allows back to take the throw-in. Sends it down the right-hand channel, looking to try and get behind the back line once again. Is Rabat, as El Fally just sends it over the top, but good defensive work over on the far side, but though given away in the second instance, and the linesman's flag goes up, and I'm not too sure it was an offside. I think it just went out for a throw-in over on that far side. 2 minutes then to go in this game in stoppage time. VAR not needed in this second half, which just goes to show referees can control games without VAR, even though VAR is back involved in this contest. But you fully know that if VAR was working, that something very dramatic would have happened, and it would have been needed, as Rabat just send the ball forward in hope more than expectation. It's a poor ball, and it's straight in towards Ronwen Williams, who'll just chest it down and take the touch. Miguel Cardozo just screaming at his team to keep hold of the ball. 60 seconds to go in this first leg of the CAF Champions League final. A week until the return leg in Rabat. Rabat will need to improve in Morocco if they want to stand a chance. They don't score too many, they don't concede too many. It took a worldie from Madiba this evening to separate both of these two sides. Cardozo screaming at his players still while they control the ball, moving it across the left-hand side and just striding into the Rabat half. Looking long in towards the area to try and find a potential second at the end of the game, but it's just hacked away by Hamoudan Haya. More than far, a bit like my golf shots tend to be. Rather than having too much distance, but less than 30 seconds to go of stoppage time added on. Back with Ronwen Williams away to the left-hand side. Plays it in towards his centre half of Udamane. Cupido away to the right-hand side, linking nicely with Adams once again. Just passing it around between themselves, as they've done throughout this entire game, the Sundowns, as we are over the time added on here, as the referee takes one look at his watch. The Sundowns still on the ball, this time down the right-hand side with Saleh. They'll keep hold of it. They're not looking to do anything, as they'll make their way forward once more. And there goes the full-time whistle here in Pretoria. It's finished Sundowns 1, Rabat 0. The Madiba goal from the first half is what separates both of these two sides. In an end-to-end first half, the Sundowns had the possession, whilst Rabat tried to catch them behind the back line of the high press. The best chances went to the away side before Madiba's beautiful free kick 8 minutes before the end of the game. At the end of the half, wrong-footed Tagnauti in goal to give the home side the half-time lead. The second half started the way the first half went as well. Leon set through, down the middle, missed one with forcing the keeper into the save on the first instance. The second missing an absolute gilt-edged chance to the right-hand side. Tagnauti went to his left. Leon went to the right and dragged his shot wide to give the Sundowns what would have been a wonderful 2-0 lead going into the second leg. Lithaku forced a save as well underneath the keeper, who just about got enough Tagnauti to keep his side in it once more. Mokwena also hit the post from a free kick, and in a second half that the Sundowns dominated and should have had a second, Rabat will be delighted that they will still have an opportunity in a week's time in Morocco to try and win this final. But at half-time in the CAF Champions League final, it's Sundowns 1, Rabat 0. We're back in a week for the second leg. Madiba's goal the difference at the halfway stage. Good night.